Wow, and wow, my brother. I mean, this, Kirk was calling it a punch in the gut. No, it was a punch in my nuts. And my nuts are now all the way in my stomach right now. Okay, that's exactly what this was. This was devastation at its max, and it leads to a lot of pain now. Your thoughts on Tua Tagovailoa's future? Because nobody's a bigger Tua believer than I am, and I still believe he can be a great passer in this league. But physically, I am convinced now that he cannot play this game because he ran into that and cuts himself. He Gus Perot that shit into a wall, and I think he's done. That's just me.
Well, Big O, my first thought was, when are you finally going to finish up with that segment with Perk? I'm waiting all night here to join the show. But yes, on a serious note, then for Tua Tagovailoa, I don't think you need to go to the extremes of. First of all, it's going to be his decision to make, and he'll let the concussion protocol play out. Once he eventually gets cleared and his mind is in a state to bring those topics back up, he did back in 2022 between the 2022 and 23 seasons contemplate retirement. He admitted to it before finally coming back and then playing last year, and he went through a full season healthy, got the contract, and he may have to have those discussions with his family, and it will be a talking point throughout, but right now it would all just be speculation. It's ultimately going to be his decision and what he wants to do once he is in the frame of mind to be able to think about those things.
Well, what do you think?
I would say if he wants to continue playing football, once he clears protocol, then go for it. He did make it through a full season healthy, and then it kind of pushed everything sort of from the previous year to the back burner in everyone's minds. Once you see someone get through the season healthy, especially when he's had so many injury concerns over his career, then you don't really think about it as much. Now, of course, it's right back at the forefront, but I think you knew at some point if he was going to play 10 years, 15 years, at some point there was going to be something else. There was going to be another instance. It's just the way the game of football is. Now it just happened to happen 2 years later. So it is a little bit of a proximity from the last few instances. It hasn't been too much time to sort of get away from it, but you knew it was going to happen at some point, and if he wants to play, then I would say go ahead and keep going for it. Now, if you have multiple concussions again in another season, then that's where it really starts getting tricky.
Yeah, as I told Perk, I think I wouldn't want him to come back if I'm his family. If I would tell him to retire. I think he needs to retire. But if you're the Dolphins, you need him to retire so you can try to get out of it. Do we have any idea how much the Dolphins have protected themselves from this in their contract?
Yeah, those are some details that I think we'll be researching now, delving into those contract details going in. I'm going to have to reread everything, the numerous details that were in that contract now to verify. But it's something that, like you said, at the forefront, it would be a majority of it would just land on his willingness. He gets that guaranteed money in the coming years based on the pro rate of what it is the next several seasons before then there starts to be an out going into, I believe it's 2027 and then into 2028, which would be the final year as he's signed. But as long as he wants to play, then he's going to be guaranteed the money in that contract.
Yeah, no, I know that, but that's why I it'd be interesting to see. They had to have agreed on something to protect themselves because of his, injury history. Okay, so
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
So I ask you this: I think Garoppolo is with the Rams, right? I think he might be even on a PED suspension, actually. Tom Brady's out there. He's broadcasting. I doubt he's going to come out of the broadcast, but they can't block. Joe Flacco. What do you do? Because I don't believe in Skylar Thompson. I don't think Skylar Thompson can win you a game, barely win you a game, overall, much less keep even 500 or be even competitive. So what do you do if you're the Dolphins? Gotta go find another quarterback.
Yeah, there are options. Garoppolo makes sense system-wise because he's been in the 49ers system. Mike McDaniel was over there before he came to Miami. So there would be a lot of similarities there. Ryan Tannehill is a name that's going to get thrown out by a lot of fans, but I don't see that as a system fit. I already see you rolling your eyes, and not with this offense.
Yeah, he can't play.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the skill set to play here, bro. He doesn't have the accuracy for that. But Garoppolo's a guy that knows
Garoppolo would be a fit. Yeah. Flacco could be interesting. He just was in a similar situation. Now, I think you don't rush to make any move yet. You gauge the severity of this. You'll probably go into next week with Skylar Thompson before rushing to any move. Yeah, I would just play Skylar Thompson in Seattle week 3, coming off the mini bye here now. And then because I feel like Perk was saying, I mean, if let's say it's 3 weeks for Tua, Skylar could get you through. All right, at Seattle will be tough, but then you're home against Tennessee on a Monday night. Yeah, that brings back memories of last year. But the Dolphins have enough talent where they should win that game at home either way. And then you got the Patriots week 5 before your bye. Skylar Thompson will get you at least 1, and I'd be hopeful for 2 that he could get you in that stretch, and then it takes you right into the week 6 bye, and then maybe by then Tua's back and he is feeling good. So
you're really selling to those readers to keep reading your writing, right? Is that what you're doing here, or something?
I mean, keep in mind, Skylar Thompson, he's improved since his rookie year. He got them. Now, I'm not going to go point to that playoff clincher against the Jets. That was an ugly 11-6 game. And now he did go toe-to-toe with the Bills once he got to the playoffs. And even that performance, he was completing 40% passes. Josh Allen kept the Dolphins in the game with his turnovers and the short fields that created. But he is a better quarterback than that, and he won that competition over Mike White this training camp and preseason, and showed some signs in that final preseason game when he ultimately distanced himself and came in as the backup and outperformed White against the Buccaneers. So unless you put him in and Seattle, it's just a total mess, and then you immediately have to make a move before that Monday night game. But I give him that week 3 start in Seattle at least.
Well, I can't wait to be in Seattle to see how he responds with the 12th man and those people going absolutely out of their minds. That's not. I don't know how that one's going to work out, bro. I got to tell you, that one is.
He has some experience in raucous environments like Buffalo in the playoffs, so at least he's seen that. Yes, I know the 12th man is a behemoth over there, but he's been in a big game NFL environment.
Okay, so I asked Perk this. I will ask you this, and Perk was brutally honest on this. What makes you think that McDaniel can coach you out of this? Because I haven't seen anything to prove that. In fact, today he was terrible today, bro. I mean, he was absolutely brutal from the beginning. To put Chosen and Dubose in those situations in a game like this, that is such bad coaching. It's beyond me that you would actually put those 2 young men who barely been here and really don't have the chemistry, and put them in such important positions. I just thought that was, there's a lot of other shit that went on today, but what gives you hope with Mike McDaniel, bro? He doesn't look like he's the guy that can, like Spo, I know can coach out of adversity, and Jim Larinaga and Paul Boudreau and shit. I haven't seen that from this guy.
Yeah, that'll be the challenge that faces him, and I know you're proud of me that I actually I asked Mike McDaniel that question about that first interception and why. I posed it as why Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle weren't on the field. I could have gone the other way too and said, why is it that Grant Dubose, Robbie Chosen, and Braxton Berrios are your 3 wide receivers? However, I could have framed it. It's just on a 3rd and 13 early in the game, why are you giving Tua them as the options, and I think it was them with Johnny Smith, who would be your receiving tight end. I get that, and Devon Achane, who can catch the ball out of the backfield. But yeah, and then that's Grant Dubos's first target, NFL regular season target in a game. A ball was a little bit behind him, was what Mike alluded to, but still something that he head turned, it hit off his shoulder pad, intercepted. Just you can't go into that situation against that defense, team that's had your number, and put those kind of newcomers that Dubose only been a couple of weeks.
Dude, it's unfair to the kid. It's unfair to Grant Dubose to put him in that position, and it's terrible coaching on your part, man. Come on, you guys. I really don't. And then Robbie Chosen. It looked to me like Robbie Chosen didn't run the route deep enough. That's kind of what it looked like because, man, Tua was completely off. Now, he was off with Julian Hill, too. You know what I mean? Tua didn't have a good day either passing, by the way. It wasn't like, he was smoking hot until the concussion. He wasn't playing well either today.
No, absolutely not. And actually, that was so that second interception, that was something I took down as a note to ask post game to Tua, but of course, he wasn't speaking after suffering the concussion. So, I also wish I could have gotten an answer on that interception. Couldn't get it to Mike with already asking about the first one and why those receivers were on the field. So tight time constraints. But yeah, I would imagine it was a miscommunication that Robbie Chosen ran the wrong route would be my guess. I would trust if in what appears to be a miscommunication that Tua probably threw what he was expecting and that Robbie Chosen ran what was incorrect for that call. Now, where Chosen ran, he was open there, and Tua was actually overthrowing into where the safety was. So if he was expecting Chosen to go that way, then he would have been leading him right into the over-the-top safety.
I'm good. But he's in front of the safety. He goes deeper, he's supposed to, but whatever. I don't know. Either way, Tua was off, but just these are not the people you put in a game like this in these moments that you need this game badly. Your team needs it. Bro, use your best people overall in order to get it done. And that's the part that's unacceptable. All right, Doggy, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friends?
Yeah, well, now it's going to be all Tua all the time, following up on this latest concussion and now the aftermath and what this means. So we have another Zoom with Mike McDaniel tomorrow to follow up on this game. So
great, you get a lot of ums and It looked like he was about to cry on the sidelines at the end there.
Yeah, well, Mike is an emotional guy, so I can imagine it feeling for his quarterback. And now you're probably talking about a situation within the game, but I mean, he also felt a lot for Tyreek Hill earlier this week after the detainment and all the aftermath with that. So, you
think Stephen Ross? You think Stephen Ross is regretting that extension because it made no sense to give him an extension? You had him under contract. He hasn't proven that he could win. So why didn't you wait for this season to give him the contract at the end of the year? I get the optics, but right now, if you're the front office and you're the owner, you're regretting that extension to Mike McDaniel.
I never thought it was necessarily necessary to do it right now before this season. Just
not at all.
But you're really tied now, if you're the Dolphins, to really this whole roster. Now, Tua, if he, we answered these bigger picture questions about the concussion and the decision he has ahead of him. But assuming he does want to play and he comes back from this, doesn't contemplate retirement over it, then you're tied to Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Waddle, Mike McDaniel as coach. You are tied to this core now for the foreseeable future. So, it's
and Robert Jones is freaking brutal, dude. Brutal.
Wow. Yeah, he got manhandled by Ed Oliver on that 1 4th down sack, and
by the way, Eichenberg
that he hurt his shoulder. Yeah,
Eichenberg really hasn't been bad the first 2 weeks.
No, he's been solid, and like Perk was mentioning, he's a guy who just it's important to him, and then also just I think you saw some of why the coaches truly believed in him and thought that he had put together a strong camp. And I know a lot of people probably laughed when Mike McDaniel was saying that he earned to have the final preseason game off, and because he earned that starting job, and the way Chris Greer talked about how others are more concerned about the offensive line than he is. Well, right now, yeah, certainly. But as far as in Eichenberg's case, who I think is at the heart of a lot of the fan criticism, then he has been okay in his spot.
Yeah, he has. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a great night, and drive safely, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. And don't forget to call our friends at Welt Rheaume, folks. They do it all. They can help you out. If you're dealing with bankruptcy issues, property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. Personal injury, the consultation's completely free. 954-966-4646.